This is the Diamond Hogs Podcast with Mason Choate and Robert Stewart.
Welcome to the Diamond Hogs Podcast. I'm your host, Mason Choate, joined by Robert Stewart as always. Robert, you didn't wave. Okay, he waved.
It wasn't YouTube time yet.
It wasn't YouTube time. All right, Arkansas wins the series over Mississippi State.
And that's the most important thing.
That is the most important thing. You win 2 out of 3, that's the most important thing. Doesn't matter if you lose 1 as long as you win 2 because that is a series victory. A series victory is what's most important. But they lost in 12 innings on Sunday. And you didn't ask the Cole Ramage question.
Hey, we've got some good stories from Sunday, so though that's really the important thing here.
It is the important thing. It was a long game Sunday. I'm so glad that it's over because we're recording the podcast right now on Sunday, and I need to get home because I'm married.
3 hours, 56 minutes in total.
3 hours and 56 minutes. It was a good game to watch. I mean, it was a great baseball game, but by the time it was 11th, 12th inning, it was time to go. But we're going to talk about Friday and Saturday's games too. Those were exciting if you're a Razorback fan. We're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about Sunday's game. We'll talk weekend MVPs, and then we'll look around the SEC on today's episode of the Diamond Hogs Podcast. But before we do that, I need to remind you that we're on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. It is the best podcast network in the history of podcast networks if you are a Razorback fan. So go subscribe to the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Subscribe to the Diamond Hogs Podcast on the Hit That Line Podcast Network. And we're very thankful for them. Go to hitthatline.com. You can read Robert's game recaps from this weekend. If we don't hit everything you want, if you want to read more in depth, go read Robert's recaps. Go check them out on Twitter. Hit that line AR. You were posting quotes and updates all weekend long. And go check them out. Hitthatline.com. Also, HawgBeat.com. We're on the HawgBeat YouTube. You guys know this by now. Go to HawgBeat YouTube, subscribe, watch it. Yeah, wave. Okay, Robert waved. And go to HawgBeat.com and subscribe for all the great content that Andrew Hutchinson, Alex Trader, and myself put out, sometimes Pete D'Alessandro. And go check that out. It's a great deal for students, $11.95 a year. I think it's actually normally like $100-something a year if you're not a student. So well worth your money. Baseball players subscribe, so you should subscribe too. I don't know if I should say names of guys that subscribe because I know them, but they're guys that you're fans of. I know for sure. I'll just say one of them has been on this podcast. Put it that way.
There you go.
Okay. HawgBeat.com, HawgBeat.com, BEAT, not beat as in beet juice, as in Kevin Kopps, as in Dwight Schrute. You an Office guy?
Not really. I need to watch it.
You've never watched The Office?
I've seen episodes here and there. I haven't watched it start to finish.
Oh, dude, I've watched it start to finish like 6 times. And that's not an exaggeration. I think it actually might be 7.
How many seasons is it?
9, I think.
It's a lot.
It is, but it's worth it, I promise you. Yeah, I don't know if you have time. You don't have to. They're like 30-minute episodes.
Maybe that'll be my summer project.
Okay, summer project. Anyways, Robert, who are we brought to you by?
We are brought to you by Barley and Vine, the good folks up there in Bentonville. They are a craft beer tap room and wine bar. You've heard Mason say it before. They've got 32 different beers on tap, several more in cans and bottles. They've got all kinds of wines, red, white, sparkling. Take your pick. If you want to go up there and have a drink, it's the perfect place to do it. You can watch whatever big game is on. We're not certain about this, but we're hoping to go up there on Friday and have a little watch party, but got to work the details out. We'll stay tuned on Twitter for those.
Stay tuned on Twitter at Choate Mason and at drstew32.
Correct. They've got shuffleboard, darts. I'm just itching to play shuffleboard. Can't wait to get up there. If you want to watch Razorback baseball, Final Four, you could watch the national championship game tonight. Whatever the big game is, they've got it. You can go up there and see them at 113 West Central Avenue, Suite 103 in downtown Bentonville. And they have a phone number, Mason. I don't have it in front of me.
Let me pull up their phone number real quick. Hold on. I almost had it pulled up. I wish you would have told me. It's 479-268-4806. Give them a call if you're trying to go ahead and see if they're busy, because a lot of people go there. It's a popular spot. It's a hot spot in town. It is the spot in town in Bentonville, Barley and Vine.
It is. So we're appreciative of their sponsorship for sure.
All right. Let's get into this weekend's series against Mississippi State for Arkansas. So let's just go through the scores real quick. of the games, and then we'll just break them down. So Friday, Arkansas wins 8-1. Saturday, Arkansas wins 12-5, and Sunday, Arkansas loses 5-3 in 12 innings. All right, Friday.
Big win.
Connor Nolan.
Statement win. Everybody did what they needed to do in that game.
Everybody did what they needed to do. Connor Nolan, though, 7 innings, gives up 4 hits, 1 run. That came on a home run, right?
It was a solo shot.
And struck out 6, didn't walk any, threw 104 pitches. There's your ace.
No walks in 7 innings. That's really awesome.
That really is awesome. Connor Nolan, is it fair to say, like, quietly a great season as the Friday night starter? Because, like, how many people do you see talking about Connor Nolan?
Very few, if any. Even like with us, it feels like we've been more impressed at times with Hagen Smith and Jackson Wiggins, and I think that's maybe just because Nolan's the senior member of the staff. We're used to seeing him have success. Maybe not last year, but we've seen him do it before, and he's doing it early and often this year, and it's almost not news, you know. But he's really having an incredible year.
It's like if Traylon Burks had a 100-yard receiving game and a touchdown.
Right.
That's to be expected, I guess. I don't know if you're going to expect Connor Nolan to go 104 pitches, 7 innings, no walks, 6 strikeouts, but you expect him to put together a great outing. That's why he's your Friday night guy. And holds Mississippi State, defending national champions. Yes, they're having a down year, but it's a great lineup. Holds them to 1 run on a solo shot, as you said.
And the other 3 hits he gave up were singles. Those were the only 4. I guess Mississippi State only had 3 guys on base. Like, they had the solo shot and then a single in 3 different innings, and that was it.
Wasn't there? You were talking about it during the game. There was one point where they didn't have any hits to the outfield. I don't know if you remember that. I
don't know if
maybe that wasn't
okay.
You.
So through 3 innings, there was a single to second base. I have it scored by Logan Tanner, who ended up hitting the solo shot later. But single to second base in the second, single to the pitcher. That might have been a bunt hit by R.J. Yeager in the third. First 3 innings, he did not have an outfield hit.
Yeah, and Tanner
gave up 3 fly balls. That was the only time the ball left the infield.
Logan Tanner had 2 of their 4 hits too. So
right.
Only 3 Mississippi State batters had a hit in this game. And then you look at the Arkansas lineup. How about some run support in the second inning? Huh?
Second inning, they hit around, man. It feels like in both wins, the second inning was huge.
Oh yeah, and you felt like in the third game on Sunday when they didn't have a big early inning. We talked about it. We were in the second inning and we were like, this just feels like a game Arkansas is going to lose. And sure enough, they did. But on Friday, 6 runs in the second inning. You get an extra run in the third, and then you score 1 more insurance run in the 7th. But take us through that second inning, Robert.
It all starts with a Braden Webb leadoff walk, and I think it's worth noting that he drew 6 different walks in this series.
Okay, so Braden Webb's numbers for the series, what was it?
He was 2 for 7, and he had fewer than 10 at bats. He and Brady Slavens and Zach Gregory were the only guy to have fewer than 10 at-bats. And he walked 6 times, 3 times the number of strikeouts he had. So that's probably really good for him because, he's prone to the strikeout sometimes.
Yeah. We were talking about it. It's either a home run or a strikeout with Braden Webb most times, but he walks 6 times on the weekend. So now you have 3 options with Braden Webb: home run, strikeout, or a walk.
And he scored 3 times on those 6 walks. So he was efficient. He got everything going, and Jalen Battles with the first pitch no doubter there with 1 out after Borfin struck out. We haven't even talked about it yet. Jace Borfin made his return to the lineup.
Jace Borfin, you mentioned Battles. I completely forgot Battles had a 2 home run game on Friday.
Right. Well, see, that's the thing. It was like, which story did you want to tell first? Was it Nolan going 7, or was it Battles hitting 2 home runs?
It's not that it's not okay. It's not. I'm looking at the box score right now, and I see the 7 innings from Nolan. That's the first thing I see. But you guys have to realize, for the listeners out there, it's been 2 more days worth of baseball, one of them a 12-inning game, since this game. It's hard for us to remember everything that happened. So we're like, as we go back through it, it's like, oh yeah, that happened.
Right.
That's what happens most weekends. But it's like, oh yeah, Jalen Battles hit 2 home runs. I completely forgot about that.
Right. Yeah, he got a first pitch fastball from Preston Johnson, their ace. Did not miss it. Sent it 420 feet in the hog pen, something crazy like that.
Yeah, it was. So the two longest home runs on the weekend. Battles 420-footer.
And then Webb outdid him with 421.
Webb did 421 on Sunday. That's 841 feet worth of home runs. What is that in mileage? Can you do that math?
Oh,
you're the math
gosh.
guy.
It's like 5,280 feet, I think, is in a mile. So maybe like 1/7 of a mile.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it. 1/7 of a mile. I mean, both of them were moonshots.
We'll call it 2/13.
2/13. That sounds that sounds worse. 1/7 sounds better.
Okay.
Keep going with the second inning.
Yes. So Zach Gregory flies out, foul to right field, and you got 2 outs, nobody on, and then the line starts moving. Caden Wallace with an infield single, and then I don't remember. I've got E6 written between first and second base, so the shortstop must have thrown it away. Peyton Stovall draws a walk. Michael Turner checks in with an RBI hit. I believe I asked Dave Van Horn on Tuesday about him not ever pulling the ball anymore. It seems like he's just got so much opposite field hitting ability, but he hits that one to right field, gets the Hogs on the board. Chris Lanzilli checks in with a hit, doubles the lead, RBI single to left, and then Robert Moore comes up with a big 2-run triple, and all of a sudden it's 6-0.
Yeah, I was really shocked that Mississippi State left Preston Johnson in the second. Like, I get it. You don't want to pull your guy in the second inning.
Especially on a Friday.
But Dave Van Horn would have pulled Connor Nolan if he's given up 6 runs in an inning. Don't you think?
You would have to think so.
And so he gives up 6 runs, and then they leave him in for another 2 innings. He ends up giving up 7 hits, 7 runs, all earned. But he still struck out 7 batters, too. And he walked 5.
5 walks.
5
That
walks.
is not an acceptable strikeout to walk ratio.
But you look at it, I mean, Mississippi State 9 strikeouts on Friday, but you give up 8 runs. So 9 strikeouts compared to 11 walks. That's
Again,
the difference.
Not an acceptable strikeout to walk to ratio.
Yeah, you can't have that.
On the weekend, Mississippi State pitchers issued 26 walks, and somehow the Razorbacks did not sweep that series.
Sunday's game, Arkansas should have won.
Oh, most definitely. But anyway, Friday. We're still on Friday. Yeah, I mean, I think Chris, how do you pronounce it? Lemonis? That's it. Chris Lemonis, the manager, head coach. He must have just wanted Johnson to meet his pitch count, because you're right. That's not something you usually see from Dave Van Horn. If that was Connor Nolan giving up 6 in the second, I don't think he would have made it through the second.
Yeah, I agree. So just moving forward, keeping it going.
Jalen Battles with another home run.
Back-to-back innings, Jalen Battles hits a home run. At this point, though, Borfin has struck out twice. So by the third inning, Borfin struck out twice. On the day, so in Borfin's game back, he has 3 plate appearances, strikes out 3 times, ends up getting pinch hit for Max Solis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So clearly the timing was not back at the plate.
I don't know if that's what it. I mean, like, he did not look good. Put it that way. Van Horn said that he looked fine in BP. Maybe it was just one of those days, but it's not the Jace Borfin that we had before the injury.
Correct.
But what do you expect, man? Right.
It's his first game back. He's going to need another chance. Of course, if Brady Slavens is swinging a hot bat, then we'll see how long it takes for him to get that other chance. But
yeah.
Yeah, so where are we? Logan Tanner comes up with a home run in the 4th inning. Sort of talked about that already, 7-1. And then innings 4 through 6 for Arkansas, they loaded the bases twice without getting a hit. And yet, in those 3 innings, they stranded 7 runners. So that's probably not Dave Van Horn's favorite thing. He's probably allowed to be picky about that, even in a 7-run win.
It just feels like Arkansas is always horrible with runners on base. But then when they finally get a hit with runners on base, everything that happened before that,
you sort of forget about.
You forget about, because it's like, well, they delivered now. But then when it doesn't happen, and we're recording this on Sunday, so we're thinking they were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position today on Sunday. And so that's what we're thinking right now. But on Friday, you score 8 runs. It doesn't really matter if you leave bases loaded for 2 innings, because you still won by 7.
Right. And they were not done scoring either. Michael Turner came up with his second RBI of the night. Sac fly to center field, scores Caden Wallace, who scored twice. Caden Wallace had a great weekend, by the way. What does it read there? 5 for 13, 4 RBI, 2 runs, 3 singles, 2 doubles, more walks than strikeouts.
Potential MVP candidate for Arkansas, brought to you by the Encore Group.
For sure. And did not see a pitch in his final 2 plate appearances on Sunday. Drew a couple of intentional walks.
That's how it's gonna go. You're gonna walk that guy to get Stovall up. We'll get into that more.
Yes,
but
we will.
Yeah. So they end up winning 8-1, and then you just got to mention the guys out of the pen.
Yep. Hats off to the relievers. Zeb and Cole Ramage both had a scoreless inning and a strikeout. Went 1-2-3 both times. A couple fly balls for Zeb, a couple ground outs for Ramage, and that was that. Keep the winning streak moving.
Yes. So at that point, that was their 20th win of the year.
Correct.
So they get to 20 wins on Friday, and then go to Saturday. Hagen Smith starts. So I didn't watch a little bit of the beginning of Saturday's game, so I'll kind of let you carry that convo.
That's going to be a little tricky for me as well.
I did see that Smith walked the bases loaded to start the game.
Yes, got a ground out, issued 3 straight walks, and honestly, pretty good damage control. Gave up a sac fly after that, and then got Brad Cumbus looking.
Wait, what did you say?
Brad Cumbus.
Is that the proper pronunciation?
I think so.
I just wanted you to pronounce it the other way. I'm sorry.
Okay, I won't.
Okay.
Anyway,
keep going.
Yep. So
if you don't get that joke, you're not a real baseball fan.
Okay.
No, not you. I'm saying
I know.
People listen.
I know.
Okay.
Whatever. Anyway, big strikeout there to end the first. He really sort of settled down in the second and third innings. Went 6 up, 6 down, no problem. Gave up an infield single in the fourth. Worked around it, and then there was a triple to lead off the fifth for Smith, and that was one of those that's a tough triple because Chris Lanzilli looked like he was sort of lazily fielding that ball.
I don't know if he was.
Maybe he was just too slow to get there. I don't know.
He wasn't even slow to get there. Like, he made a good jump. Because I watched the play. He was running to the ball hard. He gets to it, just like leans down, and he's like, all right, I got this. Leans down as if the ball's going to go right into his glove. Doesn't even watch it because it's supposed to be a routine play. And the ball goes right by him. Recognizes that.
Now, there are 2 different plays. There's the triple, and there's the 2-base error that happened later in the game.
I thought this was the triple.
Okay.
I might be wrong. I hope I'm not wrong.
He didn't. When you said he didn't watch it, like that made me think of the other play, but
it might be. What inning was this?
This is the 5th inning. Leadoff hitter Matt Corder, center fielder in the 5th inning, triple to right. Lanzilli, I think he dove and just missed it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the other one.
Okay. Yeah.
What inning was that one in?
Let's see. I have, where does it say E9? In the 7th inning. Single to right by Lane Forsythe.
Okay, that was probably it then.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Okay.
Sorry.
So maybe could have been fielded by Chris Lanzilli. Anyway, doesn't really matter because Luke Hancock goes yard, and that's a 2-run shot. But that's the last that Hagen Smith would give up. Goes 1-2-3 in the 6th and finishes off a quality start. 6 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. So that was good and all, but of course he had a lot of run support again. Haven't even gotten into that yet. They scored a total of 12 runs between innings 2 and 6. So
yeah, 2 back-to-back 4-run innings between the 2nd and the 3rd.
They didn't do themselves any favors with walks again. So
no.
We talked about how Hagen Smith walked to bases loaded. Parker Stinnett did the same thing in the bottom of the 2nd. Jalen Battles gets the Hogs on the board with an RBI fielder's choice, and then Caden Wallace knocks in a couple more, and then Zach Gregory scores barely on a wild pitch, and that was it. Lamonis was not going to make the same mistake twice, I guess.
Didn't really matter.
Of course, his next guy out of the pen didn't really help things at all.
But I think we should mention Stinnett gives up 4 earned runs, and Arkansas only got 1 hit.
Right. 3 walks, 1 hit, 1 strikeout.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough.
It is pretty tough.
You can't walk the Hogs. I think I tweeted this. For those of you who weren't aware, I was in Arkadelphia this weekend, Friday and Saturday, and so I wasn't really watching too closely. But I was like, you just can't walk this team.
No,
they're gonna make you pay. And again, 2 walks to start the 3rd inning. Braden Webb hits into a double play that erases one of them, 2 outs. But guess who's back? It's Brady Slavens.
Brady Slavens, did he hit a dinger here?
He sure did. I don't know where it landed. I couldn't tell where it landed, but it looked like it might have gone over the development center in right field.
I mean, like, I wasn't there for this game. Neither one of us were there for this one, but I heard it was a bomb. So good for Brady Slavens. It was much needed.
Yep, 2 out shot. That was big. And then Jalen Battle's very first pitch keeps the line moving with a single to center. Zach Gregory draws a walk. What does he do?
Gets on base.
There you go.
Okay, speaking of which, SEC Network, if you're going to steal our stuff, at least be like Zach Gregory, a guy who gets on base. There's a reporter for Arkansas, either Mason Choate or Robert Stewart. I was about to call you Robert Moore. Robert Stewart. I mean, I'm the one who tweets out the video. Everybody knows the video. Why do you like him? Points at Pete because he gets on base, does the finger thing. Okay? If you're going to say, I like Zach Gregory because he's a guy that gets on base, reminds me of a Moneyball, like a Moneyball guy.
He said he was like a perfect Moneyball type
Perfect
guy.
Moneyball type guy. If you're going to say that, at least be like, there's a reporter for Arkansas, Mason Choate. He tweets out this video every time Zach Gregory gets on base.
That's been his bit all year.
He's a Moneyball guy. I think he nailed it. Zach Gregory's a guy that gets on base. It's not that hard to do that. Don't take it as if it's yours. Same thing happened when Gabe Starks was pitching and they said, this guy reminds me a lot of Isaiah Campbell. Somebody might have said it before, but I tweeted out, Gabe Starks reminds me a lot of Isaiah Campbell, compared their windups. At least be like someone in Arkansas media, Mason Choate, pointed it out. Gabe Starks throws a lot like Isaiah Campbell.
It's a really simple thing to do. It doesn't cost you too much time or effort.
I might be wrong. Somebody might have said it before I did, but I didn't see it.
But for sure, the Gregory thing has been our bit all year.
The Gregory thing has been our bit all year. Also,
I mean, I think we honestly started it last year.
Yes, I think we did too. Also, don't come at us saying we're saying he's only a gets on base type of guy after he hits 2 home runs this weekend. All we do is we say he gets on base, which is a compliment. He gets on base. We're not saying he can't hit home runs. We're saying he gets on base. If you hit home run, you're getting on base.
Who is the player in Moneyball that they're talking about? Is it Scott Hatterberg?
No, it's well, technically yes, but the reason that the first guy is Jeremy Giambi.
Oh,
he's like Jeremy Giambi, and they're like, Jeremy Giambi, he's thick in the hips, he's not good, and they're like, well, you know what he does do? He gets on base, and a lot.
Well, there's nothing negative to be said about Zach Gregory.
Okay.
He gets on base and he scores runs.
Rant over. Had to do that. Go ahead.
Caden Wallace comes back with his second 2-out, 2-run knock of the night. It's a double to left field, and all of a sudden it's 8-1. It's a blowout again.
It was a blowout. I mean, good for Arkansas. It's great to get your starting pitchers run support. That's something that the starters have not had a lot this season is run support. And so, at least for Hagen Smith and Connor Nolan, great. Sucks for you, Jackson Wiggins. You didn't get run support.
Right.
But
for the first 2 guys, it really just lets them go out there, throw strikes, feel confident about it, and they just learn to trust their stuff more. And for the first 2 guys, it turned into quality starts.
It did. And for a guy, so like I like baseball, but I like my baseball to be short. Like if you like 3.5-hour baseball games, then you must not have a whole lot to do with your life. Both of us, we're busy guys. We got to move on with our days. Yes, I want to watch the baseball game, but I don't want it to be 4 hours long, and Hagen Smith understands that. Hagen Smith gets it.
So does Connor Nolan. 2 hours, 48 minutes Friday night, cut 5 minutes off the time Saturday night, and there were 8 more runs scored in Saturday's game.
Well, I'm just talking about...
But you're right. Hagen Smith works so fast.
The speed of how fast he works, yes.
That is an admirable quality.
Yes. It must suck to be a batter against Hagen Smith.
Yeah. I'd be calling time all the time.
Well, now I don't know if you've seen this thing around college baseball, but guys are getting called out for stepping out of the batter's box.
That is pretty crazy, actually.
I don't understand that. It makes no sense.
I mean, like you said, I'm all for pace of play, but like
You don't call a guy out for stepping out of the batter's box. Or I don't know if they're calling him out. They're calling
a
a strike.
It's a strike, and in some instances,
and if you have
it's
two
strike
strikes,
three.
it's strike three. Do you see the West Virginia game where they the strike three was not even close to a strike?
They had the bases loaded in the bottom of the ninth.
TCU
right?
did, yeah. Was it TCU?
It was TCU. West Virginia won in Fort Worth. Yeah.
Bases loaded, bottom of the ninth, and he calls a strike three on a pitch that wasn't even close.
The hitter was so mad.
Oh, he
was
went
so
at
mad.
the ump.
He really did.
It's like at that point, throw me out. I mean, game's over.
Right.
But, oh, man,
That's a brutal way to end.
getting off
the game.
track. But for the brand, though, college baseball.
Yes, of course. Back-to-back taters in the fourth. That was nice from Chris Lanzilli and Robert Moore.
Slam Zilly.
Slam Zilli, yes.
Friend of the podcast.
Of course. Zach Gregory joins the home run party, leading off the fifth.
Second of the year.
And I tweeted this, and I regret that we forgot to do bold predictions on the last episode, but I hope that you can back me up when I say that I said Zach Gregory would go yard this weekend.
I almost thought about tweeting it and be like, I have no recollection of that. And right now, in this moment, I don't know if I remember it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I think
No one will ever believe me.
I think for the brand, for the Diamond Hogs podcast brand, I'll say I'll believe you. There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You were right. Your prediction was correct.
All right, what else? Brady Slavin's another 2-out RBI extra base hit, double to center field in the sixth inning. That was the 12th run. What else? Gabriel Starks.
So, okay, is it Gabriel or Gabe? Can we say Gabe?
I think we
Do
can.
you think he goes by Gabe?
The roster lists him as Gabriel. Let's check it in the official 2022 Arkansas Media Guide.
We need to have him on the podcast.
You're right.
He's on our wish list right now. We have a wish list that we're kind of getting snubbed on, and it's not really the team and the communications fault. It's just the fact that they have a lot going on.
It's true. Gabriel is the official listing.
Well, I know his name's Gabriel on the roster. I thought you were looking for maybe a nickname or something. Yeah.
I don't know if we'll
Well, his
find
name
it.
on Twitter is Gabriel too. I'm gonna guess he goes by Gabriel, but I like to call him Gabe. Gabriel just sounds. I don't know. I'm not his friend. I should probably call him Gabriel.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with calling him Gabe, I don't think. But we got to ask him. Like you said, we got to have him on the pod, and we got to ask him.
Podcast. Okay. But yeah, Gabe Starks. I'm a huge fan of Gabe Starks right now. He's throwing the ball really well. Saturday, he goes 2 innings. He did give up 2 hits, 2 runs, but they were unearned.
Both unearned, both just bonehead 2 base errors. I'm gonna be straight up there. Those are plays that got to be made.
One of them was the Lanzilli one I was talking about earlier.
Took his eye off the ball.
Okay.
You can do that, and then Caden Wallace dropped a pop up.
Yeah. I mean, not Gabe Starks' fault, but he has 2 strikeouts, did have a walk, but his velocity was there. The thing with Gabe Starks that I've noticed is you're going to get the velocity, and when it's there, it's a beautiful pitch. But he does have some control issues.
Yes, he does. But to see him strike out more batters than issue walks, that's always a good thing. And, I mean, again, when you've got that big of a lead, it's just going out there, trying to throw strikes and, being confident in your stuff. And it looked like he was.
He faced 10 batters in 2 innings.
Right.
So it's not horrible.
And, I mean, he should have been out of both innings without giving up a run. But those 2 errors were costly, and fortunately for the Razorbacks, not so costly as to erase a 9-run lead.
Yeah. And then Tress comes in the 9th or 8th. Ninth.
1, 2, 3.
9th. And 1, 2, 3.
Fly ball and a couple of groundouts, and that's another series win, folks.
Hogs win 12-5 Saturday, and just going down the lineup. Let's see.
Caden Wallace at the top, 2 for 5 with 4 RBI. That stands out right away.
It stands out. I'd say probably player of the day though. Brady Slavens. 2 for 4, 3 RBI. Had the home run and the double.
The impact, the magnitude of Brady Slavens going 2 for 4 probably outweighs those big 2-out, 2 RBI knocks from Wallace.
Our boy, I guess, Zach Gregory, 3 runs though.
Back in the home run column.
1 for 2.
Oh, we got to check the runs leaderboard.
Do you think that it's updated?
Keep talking.
Okay.
It might be.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll do an ad read. How about that?
There you go.
Barley and Vine in Bentonville, Arkansas, as Robert mentioned earlier. Not confirmed, no confirmation, but we're planning on having a watch party there for the Friday night game. It's 6:30 first pitch, right? So okay, he's shaking his head. 6:30 first pitch against Florida on Friday night at Barley and Vine. We just stay tuned on Twitter. We'll get you guys updated, but the plan is to go to Barley and Vine at 113 West Central Avenue, Suite 103 in downtown Bentonville to watch Arkansas versus Florida. We want everybody to show up. Come show your support for the team and for the Diamond Hogs podcast. Maybe we should get some merch or something. I don't know if we have time. We can get like stickers, pins, the cheap stuff. We're college students. But we already have some people who have confirmed that they're gonna be there. And so that's huge, and we hope to see everybody there, all of our listeners. That would be a lot. I don't know if Barley and Vine's big enough to have all of our listeners there. Not to flex or anything.
Well, hopefully just the Northwest Arkansas folks.
Yeah, but Friday, 6:30. I mean, they got 32 beers on tap. What more can you ask for? They got some in cans and bottles as well. They've got plenty of wines, and as we've mentioned time and time again, the games we're gonna have to play shuffleboard. We're gonna have to play darts. Excited to play with some of the listeners. We'll have a brew with you guys. And I wish we could get sponsored like by a beer company. That would be sick.
That would be cool.
But either way, Barley and Vine Friday. Stay tuned. We're gonna have an official announcement if it falls through, or goes through. If it falls through, that means that we're not gonna do it. If it goes through, we are gonna do it, and we'll let you know on Twitter. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, even if they're like, we're not gonna do something official, then we'll still show up, and you can come say hi. So, Friday, Barley and Vine. Like I said, Robert.
Okay, Zach Gregory. It's time for the run leaders update, and it is current as of April 3rd. So, Caden Wallace is the team leader outright in runs. He's got 30. Zach Gregory is in second with 25. Now, as I said earlier, there's a caveat. We're going to do this per at bat. So the calculation I've got says 30 runs in 105 at-bats. That is a run every 3.5 at-bats. Now, Zach Gregory, he's got 25 runs in 40 fewer at-bats. So if we divide 65 by 25, that is a run every 2.6 at-bats.
Nice.
So
those too many numbers for me to process. So whatever you said, cool.
So the big takeaway here is that Zach Gregory is scoring a run one at-bat sooner than Caden Wallace on average.
I don't know if Caden Wallace would appreciate the slander that you're throwing on him.
It's not slander.
It is slander.
It is
hate Caden Wallace.
It is Zach Gregory hype.
You hate Caden Wallace. Is this a Greenbrier thing? I'm from Conway, man. You hate Central Arkansas.
I was driving through Conway today. I saw the sign for Greenbrier. I was like, oh wow, that's where Caden Wallace is from.
Where's Zach Gregory from? Keller, Texas.
Keller, Texas.
Nice. Okay, we got to get to Sunday's game because we've got
story time. Okay. Oh, so many stories.
So before we get to story time, let's just talk about the game real quick. So
we'll throw the story in the appropriate place right before the 7th inning stretch, of course.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so Mississippi State solo bomb on Wiggins in the first. Who was it?
Luke Hancock, second in as many games.
Then in the third, another solo bomb.
It was the story of solo home runs for the longest time.
It was. So let's see who hit the.
RJ Yeager had the second.
Okay, and then Arkansas Gregory in the third.
Gregory cuts the lead in half. Braden Webb ties it in the fourth.
Braden Webb and Zach Gregory, your two center fielders to start the season, and now look at them. Look at us.
Just hitting bombs. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Look at them. Us. Them.
We thought, honestly.
I'm gonna be honest. I did not think it for Braden Webb.
You knew he was gonna hit home runs. You just didn't know what his average was gonna be.
You knew he was gonna hit a home run, strikeout, or walk. That's Braden Webb for you. Okay, keep going.
Okay, another solo home run. That's number 5 for those of you keeping count at home. This was Logan Tanner, his second of the series. 3-2 Mississippi State, top 6.
That one was on Evan Taylor, by the way.
Correct. I was kind of surprised to see Jackson Wiggins come out after 5, only threw like 80 pitches.
80 pitches.
So that was a little bit surprising, but it sounded like that was the plan all along. And
I don't know if it was the plan all along. I think Dave Van Horn said he just didn't feel great
after the 5th, right?
Yeah.
Right, correct. not to be confused with, did the controversy in the top of the fifth throw things off?
The controversy.
Let's talk about the controversy.
All right, let's not spend too much time on it.
Okay, we will try to avoid doing that.
Yeah.
All right, so Lane Forsythe, number 9 hitter, he sends a little bloop-type fly ball into short center field. From first glance and every replay that we saw, it sure looked like Braden Webb caught that ball.
But Dave Van Horn said they knew it wasn't a catch.
Correct.
And that was not the issue, though.
Right. So, as soon as he got up and we weren't sure if we made the catch, I was like, you know what they have to do here? They've got to get it into second base, get that force out, because the runner at first base looked like he was retreating to first. So if they reviewed it and it ended up being a hit, then you've got to have that out at second base. And so they went to review, and I was like, well, we don't really need to go to review, do we? Like, either it's a catch or it's a force out at second. Turns out it was neither of those things.
Apparently, there's just a new rule that just says, hey, if the ump was wrong, you get a free base. That's basically what the rule says.
That is what it is in short. You can check out. There's a Dave Van Horn quote on the Hit That Line Twitter, as mentioned earlier. He explains it there. What was the Twitter account that explained it to me from the broadcast? The Razor Pig Kid. Who it was? I think it was.
I have to pull it up.
That was very insightful. Thank you for that. That's just a dumb rule.
It is a dumb rule.
I think Sharp Williams replied to me, said, "Is that like an outfield fly rule?" And honestly, yeah, it is.
Either way.
Anyway, that was silly, but it didn't matter. Cameron James bounced into a 6-4-3 double play. That was huge.
Loudest crowd reaction of the season on that 6-4-3.
Crowd went nuts, justifiably so. Justice was served.
Well, we didn't even mention the fact that not only should that have been out number 3, but it should have been out number 3.
An egregious missed strike 3 call.
On a missed strike 3 call. And so, moving on, Arkansas scores 1 in the 6th, tied at 3. How did they score there?
Brady Slavens with a sac fly. That was his third RBI of the weekend. Who scored? It was Chris Lanzilli after a leadoff single to shortstop. So at that point, the Razorbacks were 2 for 2 when the leadoff hitter reached base. And yet, by the end of the day, they were 2 for 5, I think. Let's see. In the 8th, Michael Turner singled, only made it to second. In the 9th, Brady Slavens singled, only made it to third. And in the 11th inning, Jalen Battles made it to second and then was doubled off on that liner to first base off the bat of Peyton Stovall. That was tough to watch because that's 3 or 4 inches higher, and Razorbacks probably sweep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. But before we get to the end of the game, just want to mention Vermillion comes in the 7th, throws an inning, friend of the podcast.
5 pitches, 3 outs.
Yep. It did give up a hit, though.
It was a ground ball.
But either way, 1 inning, good for Vermillion. Brady Tigert.
How about Brady Tigert?
Brady Tigert. He comes in, goes 3 2/3, gives up 1 hit, strikes out 7. He struck out all 6 of his first 6 batters faced.
11 outs, 7 on strikes. That's pretty good.
Walked 1, and then the Cole Ramage experience.
Yeah, that happened. Great job by Ramage in the 11th inning. Shout him out there because he did have a couple of runners on base. We've discussed the trials and tribulations of bringing Ramage in with runners on base and how that usually leads to runs allowed by the Razorbacks. And yet he struck out Brad Cumbest on 3 pitches, and he gave the Hogs a shot. But then, I think he was in the game a little bit too long.
Yeah, I mean, Dave Van Horn was asked the question, why? And he responded with, well, he should have gotten the guys out. We had guys warm, but he should have gotten the job done.
Andrew Ellis walked into the press conference room and said, Robert, I'll give you $20 if you ask him about Cole Ramage again.
Dude, I was hoping you would take it because that would have been hilarious.
Hutch was like, nope, I got it.
Yeah.
And he it's a good thing he did because he carefully worded it and did not get an explosive response from Dave Van Horn. So.
Yeah. Either way, as you mentioned, I mean, Ramage gives up 2 earned in the 12th. Yeah. That's ball game.
He had 2 outs and threw strike 1 to Cameron James, a 2-hitter, and then 4 balls. And then I turned to you during the game and I said, "This has got to be it, right?"
Yeah.
And what does he do? He gives up a couple of singles, a couple of runs, and that's ball game. We forgot to tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
In the seventh inning.
In the seventh inning.
So for those of you who are unaware with the second level at Baum-Walker Stadium, every time the seventh inning stretch happens, Ribby, the Razorback, the mascot, he comes by the press box, he taps on the window, and usually Matt Jones of the Democrat Gazette is sitting on the end right by the window. And they have their little rituals, and one time Matt knocked on the window back and scared Ribby instead of the other way around. So Bob Holt, now that basketball season's over, he is at Baum covering games. He was sitting in the corner.
All right, let's role play.
Let's role play.
Okay, so I'm Ribby in this scenario for those of you listening at home. So picture I'm in the Ribby outfit. I got my bat, and Robert is Bob, okay? He's just sitting there on his computer. All right, here we go. I'm walking up to the window. Knock, knock, knock on the window.
Hey. That's all he said.
No, he said, hey, Ribby.
I thought he just said
No,
hey.
he said, hey, Ribby. That's what he said. Hey, Ribby.
It was really funny.
Yeah,
I love Bob. Okay.
We were laughing for a good 2 or 3 minutes.
Not trying to hate on Bob, but it was really funny.
Yeah, it was hilarious. That might not be as funny to everybody at home, but it was hilarious in the moment. So yeah.
I do have a locally renowned Bob Holt impression.
Yes,
so.
Robert has the best Bob Holt impression in the Arkansas sports media.
Hey, Dave. Congrats on the win.
There you go.
I was wondering, Peyton Stovall went 0 for 13 this weekend. What do you think about that?
There you go. Hopefully everybody else enjoys that as much as I do.
Again, all in good fun. Not trying to hate on Bob.
No, yeah. Big Bob Holt guys. Okay, we're going to do an ad read, and then we're going to get to weekend MVPs, and then we're going to look around the SEC real quick, and then we got to go. We got to hurry it up here. Barley and Vine, as we mentioned, watch party. Be on the lookout for that. Hoping we can do that. But even if we can't, you still need to go by and see them. They got the 32 beers on tap. They got wines, reds, whites, sparkling. They offer some by the glass, by the bottle, and a perfect place for a chill vibe. You can play shuffleboard, darts, watch whatever games are on. And they got board games. They got chess, checkers, couches, everything you need. It's not your usual bar. It's just a hangout place where you can have a drink with your friends. Barley and Vine, 113 West Central Avenue, Suite 103 in downtown Bentonville. Weekend MVPs, Robert.
Oh, man. I mean, you go first. I got to pick. Sorry.
Jalen Battles.
Okay, there you go. That makes it easier for me.
4 for 10, 4 RBI. So ties Wallace with the most RBI, scores 4 runs. That's tied with Lanzilli and Gregory for the most on the weekend. 2 singles, had the 2 home runs on Friday, walked 3 times, only struck out once. And then in the field, it's Jalen Battles at shortstop.
Didn't write down an E6.
So Jalen Battles is my MVP of the weekend. Congratulations, Jalen Battles. Fred Battles, if you're listening, congratulations to your son. Very happy for him. Congratulations to you for having a son who's good at baseball.
At least one.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, his brother.
Jeter Battles,
okay.
Of course. Jalen at the plate this week, we've said it a bunch of times already this season, quietly having a great year, so that continues. Wasn't so quiet on Friday. Anyway, my weekend MVP has got to be Caden Wallace. 5 had the most hits on the team with 5. 2 huge RBI hits in the Saturday game, and you know what? I tell you how valuable Mississippi State considered him to be, because in the 9th and 11th innings on Sunday, they decided just not to pitch to him at all.
When Arkansas already had runners in scoring position.
Correct. So that tells you how valuable the Bulldogs thought he was. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. 5 for 13 on the weekend, 4 RBI, 2 runs scored, 3 singles, 2 doubles, 3 walks, 2 of which were intentional at the end of Sunday's game, and then 2 strikeouts. So very nice weekend for Caden Wallace. Nice to see he has bounced back from, well, I guess he wasn't that bad against Missouri, was he? It was the Kentucky series where he struggled? Yeah. So he's had back-to-back weekends of 5 hits. So
good for
Caden Wallace. He is fitting right in very nicely at the top of the order.
Congratulations. You get your Benchwarmers Crayon IM12 crown MVP of the weekend.
Signed the DHP.
Signed the DHP. And then on the mound, I'm going to go with Brady Tigert. On Sunday, 3 2/3. I just thought he was incredible. His off speed has been the story of the season for him so far. It's just he gets guys. I don't know. It's great for a freshman. He does not throw like a freshman, just like Hagen Smith. But 3 2/3, 7 strikeouts, 6 in a row to start it. 59 pitches. I think I'm going to guess that's the longest he's gone this year.
It's got to be.
And so Brady Tigert, I think he's your closer right now.
Right.
I think as of right now, he's the guy that I trust out of the pen more than anybody.
Right, and think about it. I mean, if Arkansas gets any of those run scoring opportunities, if they convert on any of those opportunities, Tiger's the winning pitcher.
Yep.
I mean, he gave them every opportunity to win that game.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Connor Noland. Maybe it's an easy choice, but 7 innings of 4-hit ball, 6 strikeouts, didn't walk anybody. That's just so big for your Friday night guy not to walk anybody. Save your bullpen. We heard from Van Horn after the game, Vermillion and Ramage are both going to be available because they didn't have to throw that much because Nolan did the heavy lifting, and he did an excellent job of it. So hats off to Connor Noland. He is my weekend MVP on the mound.
And weekend MVPs are brought to you by the Encore Group. By now, you know our friends at the Encore Group at RE/MAX Elite. Matt Grissom and his experience of selling homes for top dollar in the shortest amount of time. They are just amazing over there. Very thankful for them. But Robert, do you really know what sets them apart from their competition? Do you know it?
I mean, I know that they'll go to bat for you and they'll knock it out of the park. So,
well, on top of that, from helping you get your home show ready, like they're getting your home ready for you, to hiring professional video and photography people. They create custom signage. They do much more. Matt and his team, they go above and beyond to market your home. They do everything. They're not just in this, to sell the house and move on with it. They want to help you get the most amount of money from your home. That's what they do at the Encore Group. Don't settle for a bunt when it comes to selling your home. Call the Encore Group for a Grand Slam experience. I love it.
The puns just keep coming.
They keep coming. For more information or to receive a free property valuation proposal, visit sellingarkansas.com. If you're selling your house, there's nobody else you should be going to. You should be going to the Encore Group. Very thankful for their sponsorship and thankful that they sponsor our weekend MVPs. All right, before we wrap up, we're going to talk about around the SEC. So, big weekend. Let's just look at the standings real quick. So over in the East, Tennessee
is just the best team in baseball right now. That's not up for debate. They swept Vanderbilt in Nashville.
Swept Vanderbilt. They're 27-1 on the year, 9-0 in conference play. Georgia swept Florida this weekend. Arkansas will play Florida next weekend. So Georgia is now 6-3 in conference play, 22-6 on the year. They're going to get a boost in the rankings. So Vandy falls to 20-7. They have a losing record in conference play. They're 4-5 in conference, and then the rest of the East, they're all 3-6.
Missouri beat South Carolina this week. That's kind of crazy.
Missouri beat South Carolina.
We didn't think Missouri was all that, and South Carolina. I mean, what's going on with them? They beat Vanderbilt earlier in the year, and they lose to Missouri.
I don't know.
Go figure.
But you look at the West.
Some surprising series scores in the West this week.
You look at the West. So Arkansas 21-5, 7-2 in conference play. They're first in the West.
2 games clear of Auburn.
2 games clear of Auburn, who is 5-4, 19-9 on the year. But then you look at Ole Miss and LSU, both 4-5 in conference play. Both.
And so are A&M, Alabama, and Mississippi State.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, those teams don't really matter, though.
Right.
Mississippi State, I guess Arkansas just played them.
Yes.
But LSU and Ole Miss are the teams that I'm looking at because they're 2 of the bigger series that Arkansas has moving forward.
Right. Auburn took down LSU in Baton Rouge.
Surprising.
This week. Ole Miss won 2 of 3 from Kentucky. Not sure where that one was. Let's see what else. A&M lost the series to Bama. They were, I think the Aggies came in. They were second or third in the West. Dropped that series, and then it goes without saying, but Mississippi State beat Arkansas one time, but lost 2 other times. So they're sitting in the cellar right now. Of the 14 Southeastern Conference teams, just 4 of them have a winning record in conference play.
Crazy. You know that Auburn series win over LSU was their first since 2011?
In Baton Rouge?
No, in general.
They have not beaten LSU in a series since 2011.
According to SECsports.com, Auburn secures first series win at LSU. Oh, at LSU okay. Since 2011. My bad. I'm sorry.
That's still like
I didn't read
4, 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so good for Auburn. Does Arkansas play Auburn?
They'll be at Auburn at the beginning of May.
Dang, we might need to go to that series now.
My family will be in town. I can't.
Oh, you're the worst.
I know.
Okay, that's around the SEC. Anything else you want to add to that? I mean, Tennessee, as you mentioned, best team in baseball. Arkansas, number 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be Tennessee 1, Arkansas 2, and definitely the D1 poll tomorrow or today. Definitely
Monday, yes.
Yes, Monday. Not sure what the other polls will think, but we're going off of D1, and both Tennessee and Arkansas won their series this week, so nothing to change in the top 2.
Yep. So moving forward for Arkansas, Tuesday they play UCA, Central Arkansas. That's my hometown team.
Will you be rooting for the Bears?
No, I'm not rooting for either team.
Because you are an objective media member.
I am, yes. 6 p.m. first pitch Tuesday. That's on the SEC Network Plus. Then Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, not Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So Thursday against Florida on the SEC Network, national television, 5 p.m. Friday, 5:30. It's 5:30. We've been saying 6:30 on the ad reads.
I was looking on the Razorback website.
Razorback website says 5:30.
Well, that is
we ruined all the ad reads.
What? I'm looking at it right now. It says 6 and 6:30 right there. Why is it using Eastern time? Maybe it's using local time on the mobile version. That is so weird.
Wait, is this Eastern time?
Well, no. If either of us were Eastern time, it'd be me because I'm an hour ahead here. But like all the other games, it says UCA 6 o'clock. So why would it say at Florida 6 o'clock, but 5 o'clock on there?
5:30 is what it says. We'll figure it out.
Okay, it may be 6 o'clock Eastern. It may be 6 o'clock Central on Thursday. So
let's look at the SEC website.
Let's just figure it out. We can't be spreading.
SEC website says 6 p.m. Eastern, so it's 5.
Why does the Razorback website say that?
Okay, so 5 on Thursday, 5:30 on Friday, and then 12 noon on Saturday. The Friday, Saturday games are on SEC Network Plus. Robert, you can figure that out when we're done recording because we got to go. But thank you to our sponsor, Barley and Vine. Go see Barley and Vine. We're very excited for the watch party Friday. Not official watch party. If it's not a party, we're still going to be there. And we're going to be there at 113 West Central Avenue, Suite 103 in downtown Bentonville. We're going to have some of their beers. 32 beers on tap. Probably not going to drink wine. Not a wine guy. We're going to play the games. We're going to see you guys. We're going to say hi. We're going to say what's up. Hit us up on Twitter if you have any questions, at Choate Mason, at drstew32. Our DMs are open. If you have any questions, we'll answer those. And we will talk to you guys on Thursday, not Friday, Thursday, because the series starts on Thursday. And thanks for listening.
They must have just changed the times. I just refreshed it.
Okay. Is that how you want to end the podcast?
No.
Okay.
Say something else.
All right. Talk to you guys on Thursday.
You've been listening to the Diamond Hogs podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Choate Mason and at drstew32.